Yeah. Welcome to the Love of Luck podcast. Yes. We back on it, man. You know what I'm saying? We back with another topic for the day.
Ha.
And I think we're gonna talk about leveling up today.
You're leveling up.
And you know how far we came in life and from the humble beginnings to we ain't at the endings. We still in the middles. We in between the skies right now.
Still on the move.
You know what I'm saying? Look, go ahead. You know what I'm saying? Introduce the topic to him, man. What you want to talk about, man?
So, I mean, I just think it fit, man. Luck. You know what I mean, or love and luck. You know what I mean. The level up. That sounds like a beautiful thing, man. Because we always been leveling up.
Absolutely.
We cats that came from the hood. As young kids, we had to go through through the bullshit and seeing motherfuckers, getting killed and, just all the gang banging, the drugs and so on and so forth, we also became, victims of our environment, being the fact of, us seeing those things, and those was, everybody around us and our peers and, even our parents got wrapped up into that shit. You feel me? So, a lot of times it, when it came to that, I know for me, as a young cat, well, how do you feel about that, young man?
I agree. Coming from those trenches, those bottoms, you know what I'm saying? Just trying to find your way in life, you know what I'm saying? Trying to figure it out, you know what I'm saying? And as a youngster, you really don't know which way you going. You know what I'm saying?
Definitely.
I was blessed to have a little direction. You know what I'm saying?
For sure.
My mother used to have a foot on us real tough. She made sure even though I slipped outside and got with the wrong crowd, but she was still there to try to steer us in the right direction, without having a father in the home. I had a great stepfather. My stepfather was like the closest to a father, that I had, you know what I'm saying? And they, steered us in the right direction, like far as trying to get a job, far as trying to do the right things in life. But of course, you fall off track, you know what I'm saying? Especially if it's things you want out of life, it's things you see.
For sure.
Things that you see outside, people riding around in the flashy whips and exploding the jury and having all the females. And of course, as a youngster, that's what you gonna want.
Most definitely.
The people that didn't, man, salute to y'all that stayed on course, that put that, in the back of their mind. You know what I'm saying? Because at the end of the day, that's what we all should have did. We should have really had that on the back of our mind.
Right.
And when we got that bag, got that money, and because with the money, the bag, the all that stuff come with it.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? It comes with it automatic. It's like a package. That's like a package deal.
For sure.
You know what I'm saying?
And the knowledge. You got to get the knowledge.
The knowledge,
mandatory.
Well, he's definitely got to have the rest of it too. He's definitely got to have your looks. You got to have your
for sure,
your body in order.
Gotta have that.
You got to eat right. You know what I'm saying? Smell good. Keep your stuff nice and trimmed up. If you got all that there, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, it's all about leveling up. Like you said, you got to level up. You got to start somewhere.
Got to start somewhere. Well, I know, ultimately for me, man, growing up, I came from a family, man, they was just, my mama and my daddy's side, they was both, they was in it. Mm-hmm. And they was in it thick, you know what I mean? I remember some of my first, just growing up, as a young kid, man, I remember, stepping outside. I'm originally from, California. I'm from San Bernardino, California. Mm-hmm. And it always had like, for the longest, it always had like, the highest murder rate per capita, even though it's a small city. You feel me? Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? And, growing up, I just remember, being young, and stepping outside and, you know, living in the projects and little kids, you know what I mean, you know, they would bully me. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? Because my mom, it was just me and my mom, she would spoil me, you feel me? You know what I mean? You know, she kept me, you know what I mean? She had me pampered. And then when I went around all my cousins and stuff, they used to be like, oh, you know what I mean? They used to, you know what I mean, pick on me all the time and be like, oh, little punk, you know what I mean? Little faggot, you know what I mean? You know what I mean? You know what I mean? You sissy, wow. You know, and no offense to nobody that, you know what I mean, you know,
no offense.
Yeah, you know, but that's just the, you know what I mean, that's just the, you know, what we used. And, you know, it was basically made to, you know, make us tough. I remember growing up and I had, you know what I mean, like a cousin that stayed in the projects, you know what I mean, and he stayed across the way, you know what I mean, but I didn't even know he was my cousin. He used to pick on me every day, you know what I mean. Him and his sister came and got me out of the house one day, pushed me down, you know what I mean, told me to walk in front of him, pushed me down, and then kicked me, you know what I mean.
Hey, that's messed up.
So me and my mama, we go over there around the corner.
Yeah.
Next thing I know, my grandmother, she over there. You know what I mean? So my grandmama, she over there. You know what I mean? And she like, oh, you know what I mean? This is my grandmama. Like, this is your cousin. This is your second cousin. You know what I mean? I guess.
This your family,
right,
boy.
Right, exactly. So, you know, and I remember also being in the projects, and you know, I'm playing in up there one day, and you know what I mean? This one cat, he running. You know what I mean? Shooting at this other cat. You know what I mean? Trying to give him the business. You know, you know what I mean? Prior to that, you know, once the gang banging kicked in, you know what I mean? It was like, man, you know, being from San Bernardino, you know, LA ain't too far away. You know, so LA cats, they used to come to San Bernardino, you know what I mean? And they really, you know what I mean, like try to take over, you know what I mean, try to take over the area and shit. You know what I mean, due to drug reasons, because, you know what I mean, cats was making so much money, you know what I mean, you know, they wanted to expand. You know, and LA cats, they had did that, you know what I mean, pretty much all over the United States. Right. You feel me? So, you know what I mean, I know, you know what I mean, a lot of cats had to, you know, other cities had to fend for themselves, you know, and being that San Bernardino ain't too far from LA, it was a real thing. You feel me? So, you know, and then on top of that, you know what I mean, I got involved with the gang situation and the whole nine, because, you know, my family members, they getting shot at, I'm getting shot at, you know what I mean? And on top of that, you know, we out there, you know, trying to make some money. You feel me? Yeah, you know what I mean? You know. Yeah. So, you know what I mean, you know, but for the most part, you know what I mean, my mom, she ended up, you know what I mean, on drugs. The pop, he ended up on drugs. You know what I mean? You know, but thank God they both, you know what I mean, now, you know what I mean, my parents been clean for years. You know what I mean? You know, and that's a blessing, because, you know, I know a lot of cats, you know what I mean, you know, and a lot of people, man, you still see them out there. Oh, yeah. You know, it's crazy.
It ain't changed. You know, it ain't too far off now. But
oh, yeah, for sure. So
one thing I can say, I'm blessed that my mother was never a basehead or, you know, a junkie or nothing like that.
For sure. You know, yeah, that's a blessing.
You know, one thing about my family, you know, we always, I'm not saying my whole family, because the rest of my family is, like you said.
Right.
They on drugs.
Yeah, for sure.
They was on drugs, crack, whatever you name it, you know what I'm saying? I had a matter of fact, before my auntie died, rest in peace, my auntie Sharon, man, I remember she had said this one joke to us before she had died, you know what I'm saying? Because my brother,
yeah,
I don't know, she was like, boy, I don't know why your brother out there messing with them white people drugs. He need to get on crack. Crack is where it's at. Crack is where it's at.
Hey, crackheads used to always say some of the funniest shit, my nigga. Yeah, man, on the real. Yeah, for sure.
I fell out. I died laughing, man, because I thought she was going to be like, you know, you need to get your brother and he need to stay off them drugs. And
right.
He need to, she say, shit, crack is where it's at. He need to get on that nigga shit. So I died laughing when she told me that. That's one of the last jokes that I heard from her, man, and it was
that's some funny shit, though. Yeah, that's some shit to remember there.
Right, it was something to remember. Yeah, something you can't forget.
Right.
You know, like I say, man, a lot of yeah, my mama was never a junkie, man. So what I always seen my mother do is make money. You know, my mom was always a hustler.
For sure.
Like
most definitely.
People say, that's where I got my wage from. You
Most
know,
definitely, right.
my mother loved trunk jewelry. She loved making money. You know, she used to be a kingpin lady back in the
For
day.
for sure. That's what's up. That's what's up.
It's crazy, right?
Most definitely.
But when
Most
you
definitely. I
live,
can
so
see it. I can
we
see
grew
it.
up in Northtown. You know
Right,
what I'm saying?
right.
Northtown, everybody and their mama had a bag.
For sure.
Back in them days.
Most definitely.
If anybody grew up in the late 80s and the 90s and all that stuff, man, it was crucial, man. So,
crucial like a mother.
But everybody had money.
Right.
That's how it was back then versus
for sure.
now. You
that was every ghetto in America.
Yeah, everybody had money.
Yeah. The CIA, they did a good job.
You couldn't turn a corner without seeing somebody sitting on some. Back then, it was some 14s. You know what I'm saying? Niggas was riding Daytons.
Most definitely.
You know, they was riding Blazers, Suzukis.
For sure.
You know, Cadillacs, Cutlasses, Regals.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Versus now, you know what I'm saying? The dudes that having a few dollars, you still got a lot of cats riding around in muscle cars and Lolos and stuff, but now they ride luxury. A lot of them like to show off that luxury now, though.
Most definitely.
You know
Most definitely.
So,
yeah, for sure. You know what I mean?
It is what it is.
Yeah, I mean, you know, it definitely is what it is. You know, I think for me, you know, just in the beginnings, man, you know, it was kind of rough. You know, I had to go to school with, you know what I mean, messed up clothes and the whole nine. Yeah. You know, but ultimately, you know what I mean, I don't blame nobody for nothing, man, because I understand that this life is a journey. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
you know,
that shit.
This life is a journey, and ultimately,
definitely is a journey, though.
Yeah, it's a journey, and the thing is, you know what I mean, I don't blame, you know what I mean, I ain't never seen, you know, my mom or my dad be, you know what I mean, you know, tacky with it. You know, my dad, he was still doing his thing. You know, he was, you know what I mean, he was, you know, he was out there pimping, but he wasn't really, you know what I mean, you know, he was more concerned about the drug, though. You know what I mean? Right. You know, you feel me? And that's the thing, but, you know, that's my dad, and I love him.
I can't say I experienced the going to school dusty and all that shit. That's one thing I can't say. My mama always was on it.
Well, you was a blessed one, man.
Most definitely. They used to have them the 10-finger discount.
Okay. For sure. For sure. You know what I mean?
If you remember back in the day, we used to have thieves and all that stuff going on, man. So we
For sure.
I remember, man, all I remember, man, is the hustle was real. They was hitting stoves and
most definitely
and getting clothes. And so we always stayed dressed in the nice clothes and stuff like that. I even had a nice piece of jewelry as a little kid. My mother used to give us little diamond rings and shit. I remember this how I remember one day, I think her and this white guy, Tom, which is my cousin's them father. You know what I'm saying? My auntie like the white boys or whatever.
Right.
But they had hit a lick way back in the days, and they had got them for some jewelry.
Yeah.
And I think some other shit like lawnmowers and all that old type of shit.
Right.
And I remember the police running in our house, man. The police came right in and started snatching the rings and jewelry off our heads and shit.
For sure.
I was like, what the fuck? I thought my mama bought this shit.
Yeah, for sure. For sure.
They didn't rob the motherfuckers and got that shit, man. I was like, wow, that's crazy.
Yeah, most definitely. And I remember the days, you know what I mean,
crazy.
When they used to come through with the raids, man. You know what I mean? They used to have the raids, and basically the police would come in, you know what I mean, and you were a kid. I was there, you know what I mean, like they used to, you know what I mean, like my uncle, he was only 13. He was out there selling. You know what I mean? My other uncle, he was probably about 16 or 17. He was out there, he was doing his thing. You feel me? You know, and shoot, I probably was, you know what I mean, like 10 years old. I remember you know what I mean, the police coming in, you know what I mean, kicking in the door. You feel me? You know what I mean? You know, everybody, I mean, they coming through the front door, the back door. Seemed like they came through the windows too. You know what I mean?
Right.
You know, and as a kid, they just told me to sit down, you know what I mean, sit down over there. You feel me? You know what I mean? But, you know, that's just, you know, ultimately, you know what I mean, you know, that's my experience as far as, you know, just, you know what I mean, growing up as a, you know what I mean, as a young man in the hood, man, and I don't, you know what I mean, I don't take nothing from it, man. You know what I mean, I love the fact where I came from and the lessons that I learned, because I feel like it made me a better man. I feel like it made me a strong man. You feel me? You know what I mean?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah,
You
for
can
sure.
get nothing but get stronger from coming from some shit like that. Man, it's times like
for
this.
Sure.
I take like sometimes I'll take my people when they come out here to visit me and shit, cause they see where we stay outside on the outskirts. And I take them back to where I grew up at.
Right.
I be like, man, this is my house right here. They see that shit, they be like, God damn. And I say it too. I say, damn, this shit raggedy as a motherfucker. But you know, when you living there, and this is your everyday step outside, a lot of people shit look normal.
Yeah, a lot of people get stuck, man.
But
you ain't never been out the hood.
I go back, man, I be like, God damn, this shit raggedy as a motherfucker,
For
man.
sure.
Our house was always clean on the inside.
Right.
But then when you look out the outside, just the area,
right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I'm like, man, this shit was raggedy.
Yeah.
But one thing I could say, I remember me being a kid, I can always remember me saying, damn, I want to get the fuck up out of here.
For sure. Me too.
I'll never forget it. I used to always say, damn, I want to get from over here.
Right.
And Too Short had a song called The Ghetto.
Right.
You remember that song called The Ghetto?
That shit used to bang.
The Ghetto.
That shit used to knock.
Talking about the ghetto.
Yeah.
Man, I used to step outside and just look around.
For sure. Most definitely.
I'd be like, this the ghetto. This is what Too Short talking about.
For sure.
And that song, I love that song to this day.
Most definitely. Yeah.
Because I remember just being a kid, and I remember when my stepfather, we got raided. We got raided by the police out here was called the Nasty Boys.
Right. Yeah.
The Nasty Boys raided our house. I remember I was at Rancho High School.
Right.
I'm in school, and I got a homie named Queek.
Okay.
And Queek came to me. He say, Queek say, hey, D-Love. I say, what's happening? He said, nigga, the Nasty Boys at your house.
Yeah.
I said, nigga, what the fuck you talking about?
Right.
He said, nigga, he said, I know that's them because they raided my house in that same van.
Right.
And I was like, shit. So I dipped out.
They didn't come up with all the police cars and everything once they raided?
I wasn't there.
Oh, okay. They got the van, the police cars, all that shit.
I think he was riding past my house.
Okay.
Coming to school.
Right.
And so I left school. I was like, fuck. By the time I got to the house,
for sure,
I walked to the house.
Right.
Everybody was gone.
Yeah.
So everybody was in jail.
Yeah, for
and
sure.
And I had a job at the time. I was a bus boy at the Mirage.
Right.
So I was like, shit. Everybody in jail. So I'm like, okay, fuck it. I'm going to go to work.
Right.
So I go to work.
Yeah.
You know, while I worked there, they had TV screens in every room. So the news was on, and I see my mom.
Right.
I see my step-pops. I see these motherfuckers pushing TVs and all kind of shit down the street.
Yeah.
So I'm like, what the
It was real.
Yeah.
Right.
The Nasty Boys, the feds, whoever, they came to the job. They came up to the job and got my stepdad fired. They told the job, oh, yeah, y'all got a kingpin working up here. They called that nigga a kingpin.
Yeah, for sure.
He wasn't even the kingpin.
Right.
He was just the nigga, you know, my mother was doing all the dirt.
For sure.
He was just like, damn, they done fired J-Dog for some bullshit, you know
Most definitely.
Anyway, but yeah. So that's what I remember, the Nasty Boys. That's what they used to call them back in the day, man.
Right.
And I can never forget. I'm telling you, that's why I was like, man, I couldn't wait to get the fuck out of here. J-Dog got a job. Matter of fact, that's why I respected J-Dog so much too. Because I was like, man, he got fired. We ain't had no money. They took everything. This nigga went to carving motherfucker, what you call it, when you carving animals and all that shit.
Okay.
You know
Butcher.
Yeah, he was a butcher.
Okay.
He was the butcher and this shit. You know, they're like, J-Dog ain't used to no bullshit like that.
Yeah.
But you know, he had to do what he had to do to take care of his family.
For sure. Most
so
definitely.
when I seen that, I was like, damn, boy, that's what you call a real man. You know what I'm saying? Because I ain't doing it.
Yeah, for sure.
But I'm going to do what I got to do to feed my kids now. Don't get it twisted. But I don't think I had a stomach for butchering animals and cutting them up and all that type of stuff.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But then as he moved us out of Northtown, we got to a place called Desert Shores.
Okay.
Which was a beautiful area, man. I'm talking about it was water, palm trees.
Right.
All this shit. Wasn't no black people around.
Most
so I think we had one black neighbor over there, man. That was like, it was like a weight lifted off your whole body. Like,
right.
You felt safe.
Most definitely. Most
When
definitely.
I was living down there my whole life, I didn't feel safe.
Most definitely.
I felt like somebody was gonna come shoot us up any day.
Oh man, for sure, for sure. That that was one of the consequences of just being outside every day, out in the hood, man. But I like to say, ultimately, I think where my journey started, is because I wasn't dusty the whole time.
Right.
You know what I mean? I had a big family, and it was other people doing stuff, but I did stay with I had moved in with my cousin. He had a house right on the west side, where all the, where basically, all the bullshit was.
Mm-hmm.
But, he was in construction and some other shit, but he was the kingpin.
Right.
You know what I mean? So he had moved me in with him. You know what I mean? I just came over there one day, and when he had a pool at his house, I went over there and swim and stayed over there and kept staying over there.
Right.
He was like, you might as well just move your stuff in.
Hell yeah, felt good.
For sure. And then after that, man, I think ultimately, I learned from him, man, because he was doing his thing, man, to the point to where, the police would come to his house and they would come in, I remember the police came over there one day and they would just fuck with him for no reason. You know what I mean? They came over there one day and he outside and they flashed a light on him. And he had a light too, so he flashed it back on him. You feel me? So when he flashed it back on him, they turned back around. So when they turned back around, you know what I mean? They messed around and they came out and started messing with him, and then they got it outside and they started roughing him up and some more stuff, you know what I mean? But he was, wrestling with them.
Right.
Back then the police wouldn't, they wouldn't shoot you in the back. Yeah, they would fight with you, you know what I mean?
Beat you up back
in the day. For sure, most definitely. So, pretty much, you know what I mean, and then they had not too long after that, he had went to jail not too long after that, you know what I mean, they came and they raided him and shit, and some more shit, but for the most part, I was used to them raids and stuff, man, but, it was him and my uncle, you know what I mean, that raised him lived up there, you know what I mean, they lived up the hill in the city, you know what I mean, close by, it's called Rialto, and my uncle, he came out the military, he had a job. You know what I mean? He hustled a little bit too, but for the most part, you know what I mean, by watching them two, man, I always knew I wanted better. You feel me?
Right,
by watching them two, and ultimately, you know what I mean, we you know what I mean, I did my little hustling in the streets and did my little thing or whatever, and you know what I mean, got shot at, seen plenty of cats die, and you know what I mean, all that, even family members, to the point to where, you know what I mean, I knew my cousin that was close to me had got killed. You know what I mean? He was actually and I felt like it was some a situation to where, God was trying to talk to me or something. And it was crazy because, you know what I mean, my baby mama, she kept calling me that day. I'm like, you know what I mean, I don't even, we didn't even have no kid back then, but you know what I mean, she kept calling me and she was at work and she was, you know what I mean, she was older than me and, you know what I mean, a lot older than me. She was like 9 years older than me. Because I was a young cat, and all the older women, I used to hang with all my older cousins, you know what I mean, and the young women used to like me because, at like 13, I had a mustache, I had a beard at 16, and then I just woke up one day and I looked like, you know what I mean, the nigga, I had muscles all of a sudden, you know what I mean, I looked like, how they seen the movie Spider-Man, you know what I mean, when he got stung by the spider, you know what I mean, and he just got, muscles, yeah, I'm like, hold up, you know what I mean. So, you know what I mean, after that, I remember, after my cousin got killed, man, I started staying in the house, and, one day, I had, I went outside and, one of my other cousins, he ran to my house and he had a gun on him, right? Mm-hmm. But I was already on probation. So he ran to my house and he had a gun on him and he left it in the car. Right. So, due to all that, I had went back to, and I told him to jump out the, go out the backyard and leave. The police come like a little bit later and find me in the house. So when they find me in the house, they arrest me. Right. They say it's me. I'm like, man, come on, man. Y'all know it wasn't me. So they take me back to the truck. This is how I know they knew it wasn't me. They took me back to the truck, wrote me out a ticket. You know what I mean? Right. They wrote me out a ticket and told me to walk back, and I was in my pajamas. You know what I mean? Back then. Oh, man. But I just stayed in, because I had stayed in the house, man, because my closest cousin, we was like, a year apart. And, he had got killed. So after that, man, I said, not too long after that, man, I remember being in jail, because I was fighting a little case for a minute. And they was talking about, I was fighting the case for a minute, and they was talking about giving me like, 3 years. You know what I mean? And then my last name is real known out, out in San Bernardino. So police used to always fuck with me too, you ain't never gonna be shit, woo wah woo.
Right.
That type of shit. So when it all boiled down to it and I'm sitting in jail, my mom had run into one of my old friends and she was like, that moved out here. And when she had ran into him, because she had moved out here, to Vegas.
Right.
And when she ran into him, she told him he can get me a job at at the dump where me and Love met.
Right.
So I said, what? And then she told me how much I was gonna be making. This was like in 98, 99. You feel me?
Oh, okay.
I said I was gonna.
Yeah, 'cause that's when I got out of prison.
Yeah, for sure. So she told me I was gonna be, she said I was gonna be making $15 an hour. All I could get in San Bernardino was a temporary job. You feel me? I had worked jobs. I hustled.
Making more than that.
Yeah, I did all that. Yeah. So I'm like, man, well, shit, let me, and then I had already had a daughter. So I said, man, fuck it, man, let me go on there. Let me go out here. And I had a son as well. So I said, let me go out here to, see what's happening. Yeah, see what's happening. So next thing you know, I came out here, man, I got a good job, and, it was just like, once I started like going and collect trash, man, I used to see like a lot of young black brothers, man, coming out their house, bringing me the can. They have, like a Benz and some other kind of luxury car,
Oh, man.
And then, they have a pretty white girl.
Hey,
the white girl come outside, I'm like,
right.
That got me to scratching my head. I said,
hey, man, what we doing?
No. That got me to scratching my head, man. But what it did was it helped me to see that, that more things in life was attainable. You feel me?
Yeah.
That's what it helped me to see. You feel me? So once I seen that, I said, oh man, I actually was, with my ex at the time. And this is what I told her. I said, Las Vegas is like a big pussy and I'm going to fuck it.
Yeah, shit, it is what it is.
But yo,
I can expound on that because I remember, like you say, on that garbage truck, man.
Yeah.
The garbage, what I had the experience on that garbage truck going into them goddamn, like, because me coming from Northtown.
Right.
Regular Northtown dudes, they expand their mind now, but I remember they never came out of Northtown.
Right, for sure.
This Vegas now.
Same thing for cats everywhere,
Vegas,
man. Right.
Cats that live in Northtown don't want to come outside of Northtown.
Yeah, that's crazy.
They'll stay on Northtown West Side. You know what I'm saying?
Same thing in my city,
That's
man.
where they stay at. They don't want to leave out of it.
That is crazy.
But when I got on that garbage truck took me into areas that I never seen in Las Vegas.
For sure.
So I was shocked.
Most definitely.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I was like, what the fuck is this shit?
Yeah. That job was a blessing too, man.
It was a blessing.
For a lot of brothers, man, that came out to pen, all kind of stuff, man.
Cause that shit took me into. I never knew about no Spanish trails.
Right.
I never knew
and
about
Vegas ain't that big.
Spanish hills. I never knew about all those areas way out in Green Valley. I forgot that area called out there. Floyd had a spot out there. Man, I'm talking about, man,
right.
as I was entering these gates and stuff, I used to just get off the truck, sit there and look at all this shit for a minute. You remember you had that thing on the truck, it was a thing to make you hurry up to go.
Yeah, the air brake.
Yeah, so
for sure.
The dude used to be in there.
Yeah.
Be like, wait a minute, nigga.
Yeah.
I'm looking at this motherfucking house.
Let me take this in.
What the fuck kind of money these motherfuckers making?
For real.
And I'm in the area, I'm talking about all the motherfucking houses. It was houses that was blocks.
Me too.
Blocks and blocks. I'm like, what the fuck
right.
is this? And they was coming out like, you know, on holiday, they come give a nigga $100 or, you know, $200.
Sure.
It's for you, one for your drive.
And something to drink.
And some pop, you want soda, you want water, you know what I'm saying? Man, man, that shit blew me away. And I was like thinking, man, I'm in the wrong business. I got it.
Yeah, for sure. Most definitely.
I was like, I'm in the wrong business, man. I gotta get me. What the fuck do you? I asked a couple of them motherfuckers, what the fuck do you do for a living, man? I make $20-something an hour. They probably looked at me like, man, what the fuck is that? Oh, what's that dude? We picked this garbage up.
Who?
In the back of Spanish Trails. Now, this motherfucker got his house built like a goddamn casino.
Right.
And he got 10 guest houses in the backyard.
Oh, you talking about the
he had Arabian dude, motherfucker.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
One day it's a girl in each house.
Right.
So we picking up the garbage.
Right.
I said, fuck it, I'm finna ask one of these bitches. Hey, what this dude? What he do for a living?
Right.
She said, oh, dude, he make about $1 million a day.
For sure. God damn.
I said, what?
Right.
She said, yeah, he make about $1 million a day. He invested in the oil.
Yeah.
I was like, God.
Yeah, you can't.
Damn.
You
no
can't
wonder
take. That's a hard one to top. Right.
Yeah, you can't top that at all. Man.
Yeah.
That's just.
Yeah, you can't top it with a hat for sure.
You got the right complexion to have that connection.
Right.
But, I was like, woo, wait.
Right.
And he had 10 fifis and he had a different broad in all 10 guest houses.
That's crazy. Right.
Now that shit was unbelievable.
For sure.
You talking about leveling up?
Right.
That's a level up
for sure. For sure. Polygamy at its best.
Polygamy right there in my face. Right in my
polygamy at its best.
And he ain't even pimping.
Yeah.
He ain't even pimping, man.
Yeah, man. With that oil he is. For sure.
He pimping with that oil. $1 million a day.
Yeah.
I was like, God damn. Man, this house is ridiculous.
Yeah, that's crazy.
I can't even count the square footage. It got to be at least 30,000 square feet.
Yeah, for sure.
Not mention the land.
Right. Yeah, I mean, that's real though. You know what I mean? You know, I used to pick up Floyd's house. And, you know what I mean, I used to pick up also, you know what I mean, Miss Jackson's house. You know what I mean, Andre Agassi. You know what I mean, quite a few of them, man. You know what I mean.
Wayne New, Suge Knight.
Right.
Gladys Knight.
For sure. You know what I mean.
You'd be surprised who live here.
Right, for sure. You know what I mean. Matter of fact, now though, I stay in my house is right around the corner from, you know what I mean, I discovered, you know what I mean, when I was picking up the garbage in the community, you know what I mean, where I live at now, that Rebe Jackson stay there. I stay in the house right around the corner from her. You know what I mean? Talking about leveling up. You know what I mean? But you know what I mean? For sure. But you know,
that's what made me wanna, I'm telling you, when I seen that stuff, you know, even though it was years down the line, and I fucked around and got back in the streets and shit. And but down the line, when I was seeing them houses, man, I had to have one. That I don't know if you remember my house, the big house I had.
Oh yeah, for sure.
So that was like 5,300 square feet.
Yeah, it was a nice house.
7 bedrooms, you know what I'm saying? That was like the greatest spot I lived in. I was
sure.
Like, man.
And ain't nothing like the peace and tranquility, man.
And I loved it.
Most definitely. Ain't nothing like that peace and tranquility.
It's a lot to clean up, but I loved it. I stayed right by nigga. He played for the Cowboys.
Right.
The dude on the end, I think he had something to do with some oil.
Right.
And I had a couple entertainers that was up in my community as well. I used to see Floyd and them all the time. I think his trainer stayed over there.
Right.
Yeah, because I used to see him jogging every morning. They used to be jogging right outside my community.
Yeah, you know, we used to see Floyd all over town, man.
Yeah,
you know, everywhere.
That was.
You know.
But yeah, that was a good experience working at that Silver State, man. It ain't like it is back in the day. Now it's all fucked up now.
Oh yeah, for sure.
They ain't got shit for felonies now.
Oh man,
that was a great job for felonies.
Yeah, it was. The thing is, you know what I mean, you know, I think the mafia owned it.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
back then
At
the
time.
mafia owned it.
Yeah, they owned it. You know what I mean? And they was showing brothers love, man.
They didn't
You
want
know what I
nothing.
mean? It was nothing but a gang of black dudes worked there.
If you didn't have a strike on your back, you couldn't work there.
Right. For sure. That's what it was.
That's how it was.
Yeah, damn near. You know what I mean?
I was in there with everybody that I was in the penitentiary with.
Yeah, for sure. It was some square cats there though too, though.
Yeah, too many,
but most of the cats that worked there, man, they had, you know what I mean, you know, they had some history for sure.
Yeah.
They definitely had some history.
Well, I remember me and Mainline, we used to pick up this one track way out on the other side of town, and there was a little young boy.
Right.
And he used to love us to come blow the horn. Bye-bye. You know how the kids used to want to, but this nigga was a big dude. He was like, shit, I think he was like 18 or so. He said, blow the horn. We bye-bye.
For sure.
Yeah, he came out. He was like, man, let me pick up some of this trash real quick.
Yeah.
So we was like, we know we ain't supposed to do this shit, but
yeah, for sure.
Go ahead, man. Go on.
You know, the kids love the trash, man.
He ran down the street, was dumping the trash like he was seeing how we do it.
No doubt.
He did it exactly the way we did it.
Right.
So come about 2-3 weeks later, that same dude was working at the door.
Right. For sure.
He was like, shit, y'all the ones got me want to do this shit.
Right.
So he was square.
Right.
But I know his mom and dad to this day. I don't think he worked there now, but
that's what's up.
But it was so funny. He was working there like 2-3 weeks later.
For sure, that's a beautiful thing. So but in other words, you was what's the word I'm looking
Inspiration.
for? To the youngster.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? For sure. You know, but further on about the journey though, I think after that, I knew I wanted to get some more money. I'm like, man, this job, you know what I mean, I'm making cool money, man, but I need to figure some other stuff out. You know?
Oh yeah, that's what it was.
You know what I mean? Yeah. I need to figure something else out. You know what I mean? I think for a while, we got on the player shit and so on and so forth. Mm-hmm. But for the most part, man, I think, the weed was our thing, man. I had started going back and forth to California, man, like, picking up pounds and pounds of weed. Mm-hmm. At the time, I probably was, it wasn't nothing major.
I remember.
You know what I mean? Probably about 20 or 30 of them, it wasn't nothing major.
I remember when I was broke, I got fired. When I got fired.
Yeah.
This nigga right here, he say, look, he pull up. He say, did you buy my cousin's truck at the time?
The Escalade?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, you pulled up.
Probably, I don't know.
I think you had it, yeah.
I did, okay.
Yeah. So you had bought my cousin's truck.
Right.
And you pulled up on me. You was like, hey, man, shit, you want to get back and make some money? Hey, I was like, shit. Well, what else I'm going to do? Shit, I ain't got nothing else to do. He said, well, shit, come on, man. Let's go to Cali.
Yeah. Two niggas on a mission. Let's make it happen.
We go to Cali, nigga. Shit.
Let's make it happen.
This nigga picking up all this motherfucking weed. I say, he say, here, nigga, shit, let's get this money. And that's how it all began.
It all began. And then, I know after that, man, it's like, I know you got fired from the dump at first, you know what I mean? And we still doing our thing, and then ultimately, I know you had fully fledged, got in with the grind, you know what I mean? And, I know ultimately, me, myself, I had ran into some of my homeboys and they was like, oh man, you can take these, this weed, and you can get it across to another state and get, like double the money.
Right.
I said, shit. Sign me up.
Yeah, when the nigga pockets leaking,
you know what I mean?
You gonna do what you gotta do.
Sign me up, you know what I mean? I already had plugs and connects anyways, you know what I mean?
Right.
I'm from California, you know what I mean? And I already knew, you know what I mean, certain people, and then, I already, certain cats I used to deal with here. So I'm like, shit, you know what I mean? Let me go in and, you know what I mean, see what that do.
Right.
So when they told me, you know what I mean, what to do, they told me, you know what I mean, to go ahead and, go ahead and wrap that joint up, you know what I mean, and shoot it off. I said, okay, well, shit, fuck it, you know what I mean, let's see what that do. I got to asking a bunch of questions. I'm like, man, that ain't gonna work, you know what I mean, you know what I mean. But I'm always been the type of cat, man, that if you tell me something, you know what I mean, I'm gonna see what it do. I ain't gonna be like, nigga, that ain't gonna, you know what I mean.
Right. You gonna test the water.
Yeah.
That's what I do. I do that now.
Yeah, for sure.
Got that?
Yeah.
Well, yeah, let me see what you got.
Yeah, for sure. And a lot of cats, man, yeah, most definitely, you know, yeah, for sure. But a lot of cats, you know what I mean? Like I tell cats, man, you know what I mean, you know what I mean, your blessing always come, man. You know, you just gotta be, you know what I mean, you just gotta be willing to catch it when it come by. You feel me?
I was so glad I was the chosen one. You chose me for that day.
Oh, well, I had to choose you. You was my nigga. Yeah, man. Who else was I gonna choose, man?
I'm gonna tell you, man. I remember this shit.
Yeah, we've been a blessing to each other.
Check this out. I remember this shit till this day. I always speak on this story all the time.
Right.
Cause I had y'all fired. I was getting unemployment.
Yeah.
So I used to save my little unemployment checks up, to get my half on the rent and all that shit. I was with my girl at the time. The chick I was with at the time, she had got out the game as well.
Yeah, for sure.
So she was working a regular job.
Most definitely.
And I remember, man, I think the day you had pulled up, my brother's bitch had just stole our rent money.
That type of shit. I think I remember that.
She just stole the rent money. So we had to move. I remember that. And you had just came upon and everything. But I was like, shit, man, he came right on time. Even though I had to build up clientele and all that, I was blessed to have a mouthpiece and verbal analysis and acting balance. And everything was working out smooth the way it put. But she had stole our rent money, man. And I was like, shit, ain't no turning back now. Cause the unemployment ran out.
Yeah, for sure.
You know what I'm saying? Right. So I was like, shit.
Yeah.
And at the time, that's when 50 Cent was banging.
Most definitely.
Remember that 50 and there was another mixtape. We was banging all that shit all the way to Cali.
Most definitely. You're right.
And motherfucking Freeway.
Freeway.
Yeah. Oh my life.
Right. Yeah, for sure.
We was banging the shit out that shit. I was
definitely.
like, God damn, bro, we came right on time.
Yeah, for sure.
But I'll never forget that shit though, man.
Oh man, you know what I mean, from there, you know, it was
10 toes down ever since.
Oh man, and the thing is, man, you know what I mean, love, you know, I started doing the in and out of town thing, and I'll come back and I would hand.
We gonna go ahead. Go ahead. Try to end it out.
But you know what I mean, I had you know what I mean, gave love, like, you know what I mean, I would give him like you know what I mean, like 100 pounds. And he, you know what I mean, and I come back, you know what I mean, and he had my money in like less than a month. And I'd be like, man, what happened, man? You know what I mean? He like, oh, you know what I mean? I'm like, you got it already? He like, yeah, man, I got it. I'm like, dang, you know what I mean? Okay, well, shoot, slide it in then. You know what I mean? So then I asked him, he used to hand it to me a bunch of 5s and 1s, and, you know what I mean?
Right.
You know, but trip me out is he would break the whole 100 pounds. I heard about niggas in New York doing this, right?
Yeah.
But he would break the whole 100 pounds down, you know what I mean, and you know what I mean, and be done with it in a month. I couldn't believe it. It was amazing to me. You know what I mean? You know, because I was the boat guy, you know what I mean? So I ain't know nothing about, you know what I mean? You know, I ain't know nothing about that. I'm like, okay, but shit, you know what I mean? That it was some marvelous shit to me.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Well, check this out, man. We're going to continue this one. And we're going to bring it back to some more of these stories, man, because our thing, but thank y'all for tapping in with us. And we want to give a shout out to Ignis Umbra for letting us use this facility, of course. And y'all check out Lady Brandy's place. And you got anything else you want to plug?
Oh, yeah. Well, you know what I mean? Like I said, you know what I mean? You know, you know, my Mexican partner used to front me. Now, you know what I mean, the bank front me. So you can hit me up at Luck Got Fronted. That's my, you know what I mean, my Instagram, you know what I mean, and, you know, capitalmovements.com.
Hello.
You know.
D-Love Vegas everything on Instagram.
For sure. No doubt.
One love and we outro. Zoom.
And peace
out. That means gone.
And we get with you.